Excel Language School. A real passion for learning.
Hi, welcome back. This is David from the Excel Language School, and I'm here with another video talking about IELTS writing. And so this video is also about IELTS Task 2. Task 2 is the second of 2 tasks. And just to review, as you probably know, it is worth 2/3 of your final grade in IELTS writing, and it should be 250 to 260 words. We recommend that you spend about 40 minutes writing this, including planning before and proofreading your essay for errors afterwards. Today I want to discuss an excellent essay that a student gave me. I gave a band score 7-2, and it is possible that the student could even get a higher band score, in my opinion. So let's get straight to the question. The question is, you have 40 minutes to answer this question. In some countries, an increasing number of people are using cards instead of cash. However, this method of payment will never be widely used in Vietnam. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? Okay, getting straight to the essay, the student opens up with a great first paragraph. There are 2 sentences, just under 50 words, and the meaning is absolutely clear the first time you read it. There are 2 tiny grammar errors in the first paragraph, but the errors do not obstruct meaning, by which I mean it is completely clear what the student means to say. Now, the student also uses some very good idioms like on the rise and nowhere near, and also good vocabulary words like aforementioned and overstatement. They are used grammatically correctly, and also they sound very natural under the circumstances. Similarly, I have very little to criticize in the second paragraph also. One problem that the essay may have is it may be a few words too long, so I tried to show the student a couple of words that he or she could take out of the essay. Like you will see, I crossed out the word currently because it is clear from context that the student is talking about now, and so currently is not really necessary. Also in the same paragraph, the student makes a small essay that many Vietnamese students make, and we call this in English teaching disagreement in number. That is, the student uses these, which is a plural word, and machinery, which is a singular word, and so you have to either have them both singular or both plural. Now in this case, machinery is a singular noun, and so I suggested the student use this instead of these. And the second problem in this paragraph is the definite article, which I will say again, the definite article means the word the. The student writes, this is only a problem of the development. I suggested deleting the word the, and knowing when to use the definite article in English is a very, very difficult grammar point that requires a lot of study and could get a whole different video just about that. But I want to give you one rule, which is general statements of fact many times have no definite article, which means you do not use the word the before a general statement of fact. One thing I really like about this paragraph is the linking words. The linking words are, first of all, and secondly, they are very normal, not complex linking words, but the student uses them correctly to show that first they will discuss one idea and then they are moving on to a separate idea. Now at the end of this same paragraph, the student has a long sentence. It's actually two different sentences connected with the word and. And I usually tell students, if you have two sentences, they are different ideas, instead of connecting them with the word and, put a full stop and then start a new sentence with a capital letter. And the second sentence after the full stop, especially in this case, is quite good because the student shows that the student can write something in the first conditional. Now, conditional sentences are very complex, and if you want to know more about them, I'm going to put a link below this video in the description. So click on the link and you will see some examples of conditional sentences and also links to other web pages that will allow you to practice. Okay, so moving on to the third paragraph of the student writing, which is on the second page. We see that the student starts off with some very nice language. They use reigns supreme, which is a nice idiom meaning that it's number one, it's the most popular. And the writing is generally good, but the student has one problem with a linking phrase. The student uses the words for once, right? And it's a good place for a linking phrase, but for once doesn't really work here. I think the student used for once thinking that maybe it means the same thing as first of all. The student used first of all in the previous paragraph, so the student didn't want to use the same linking word twice in the same essay. But the student chose this linking phrase for once, and unfortunately it has a different meaning, different from what the student wanted to say. Okay, so just to explain, for once is not a synonym, but it has a completely different meaning. It means something like this one time only, or on this occasion only. So for example, you might use it in a sentence like, for once, my mother was not nagging me to study for IELTS, right? It means that your mother is almost always nagging you, but not this one time. Now the student could fix this with another linking phrase like to start or for starters, but I also recommended to the student that the student just not use a linking phrase. It is not necessary to use linking words in every sentence as long as you use them occasionally to show that you know how to use them. I felt that the last paragraph was quite well written. There was just one occasion when I suggested vocabulary. I suggested that instead of credit card method of payment, the student could use non-cash just to show that they have higher level vocabulary, or also a word like cashless can also fit in this case. In summary, this was a good essay. It was clear and easy to read. It had some higher level vocabulary and idioms, and so I liked it a lot and I gave it a pretty good grade. I think the student can look forward to doing well when the student takes the real IELTS test. So if you would like to have a better writing score like this student, and we'd like to ask you to come down to the IELTS Center and contact us and check us out. Information about our telephone number and our website are below this video, and please come by. We would love to see you soon.
Excel Language School. A real passion for learning.